Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. Today we're going to be recapping the Houston Astros 2025 trade deadline. This was the big trade deadline for the Astros. I think one of the biggest trade deadlines I've witnessed. I've been watching the Astros. I've been an Astros fan all my life, but I've been paid attention closely to the Astros since 2017. I always feel like I'm obligated to say this when I say this, not because they were winning, or that was the year they started winning. That was just the year I started getting into sports. In 2017, I was 9 for half the year, 10 for the other half, since I have a June birthday. So I was into playing sports really young, but not really into watching sports until I was 9 or 10 years old. And so that just happened to be around the time the Astros started really having playoff success. And it started off with watching basketball and then baseball and football. Or maybe it was in the order of basketball, football, baseball. I don't know. But anyways, I always feel like I'm obligated to say that when I say I started watching the Astros in 2017. Went to my first Astros game probably at 4 or 5 years old in 2011, 2012, if not earlier than that. But this was, I think, the best. I went to the best trade deadline because let's remember 2017, the Astros acquired Justin Verlander. That was a huge trade for the Astros in 2017. So let's not forget about that deal for the Stros. But I think busiest where they're making multiple moves. 3 moves is one of the most moves I've seen for the Astros at a trade deadline. It's always been a couple. Last year was only one at the Yusei trade. No, yes, actually, yes, last year was 2. They traded for Ferguson last year, and they traded for, it was Ferguson and Yusei last year. The year before that, they traded for Graveman and Verlander. The year before that, they brought in Christian Vasquez and Trey Mancini. It's always been a couple additions every year. Now it's 3 additions, and bringing back a very familiar face. I'm a big fan of what the Astros did at the deadline. Bringing in Carlos Correa, and bringing him back to Houston is so big for the Astros. I am so excited for it. And it came at a solid price. This trade for the Astros, they didn't even give up a big prospect at all, not even a top 30. A prospect, in my opinion, I'm going to say it, I'm sorry to him, he's just god-awful. They gave up Correa for Matt Mikalski, who is a former second-round pick in 2021. This guy was a second-round pick in 2021. He's a pitcher. He has not made it to Double A yet. He's been in High A for years. That's crazy to me. He was a second-round pick. He's not even been to Double A yet. He's got a 6.5, a little bit over a 6.5 ERA this year, and that's what the Astros gave up for Correa. And the Twins are eating $33 million of his contract, of the $96 million remaining. So that definitely is great. The fact they didn't give up a lot, and the Astros aren't taking on the whole contract to get the 3-time All-Star Carlos Correa, who this year batting .267, 310 in 2024 in 86 games, 93 games this year. He is a playoff performer for the Twins in the playoffs in 2023 during a couple games that they had during the wild card and playing the Astros in the ALDS. Correa's batting average was 4.9. For the Astros in 2020 when they made it all the way to the ALCS, his batting average was 362 that playoffs. He's a career batter of 282 in the playoffs. Really, outside of when the Astros made it to the World Series in 2019 against the Nationals, he was really bad that postseason, batting 191. Outside of that, Correa's postseason numbers have always been good. Outside of that 2019 postseason, he is a great addition for this Astros team. He's going to be playing third base, and the Astros are reunited with him. And the thing I love about this deal is the Astros, all 3 deals the Astros made today, they only gave up 1 top 15 prospect, and you would think, oh, well, they're acquiring all these good players, then almost all of them have to be expiring deals. Every single one of these guys have team control for at least next season, if not higher. Correa is not a free agent until 2029, so he's under contract for another 3 seasons after this season. Let's go to the others, though. Jesus Sanchez was acquired by the Astros. The Astros did have to give up some good stuff for him. Had to give up Ryan Gusto and Chase Jarowski, and another prospect, Chase Jarowski's number 13 for the Astros. But you are acquiring Jesus Sanchez, who's batting .256 this year. Could be an option for the Astros at left field and right field, maybe even center as well. 10 home runs, 36 RBIs. And the one thing I keep thinking about is like 10 home runs this year, 18 home runs last year. This is a hitter's ballpark. Maybe Jesus Sanchez could have some more success playing at home compared to when playing with Miami. I think these are some of these additions. Like, these are guys that I think could fit well. Like with the Astros, Christian Walker, when they brought in Christian Walker and Isaac Paredes, I felt like those were guys that fit well with the Astros ballpark, with it being a hitting ballpark. I think these are guys as well that could come in and really take advantage of the ballpark they're playing in. And let's get to the last trade. But I really like this Jesus Sanchez trade. But the last one for the Astros was Ramon Urias for the Baltimore Orioles. The Astros gave up Twine Palmer, a prospect who wasn't he wasn't ranked, but he has killed it in the minor leagues this season. Do I think there was a trade where I would say this was not a worth it trade for the Astros? No, I think this was still a good trade for the Astros. But I think he is a guy that would be a top prospect if the Astros' top prospects were redone before this Ramon Urias trade happened. I think he'd be at least a top 30 guy, probably in the 20 to 15 range. But this is another good addition. He's under contract, not just, of course, the rest of this season, but next season as well. He's under contract for 2026. Solid home run hitter, 8 home runs this year, 11 home runs 2024, 16 home runs in 2022. He's a guy that could maybe take some advantage of it. But, solid, efficient hitter as well. I mean, 250 batting average this year, 254 in 2024, 2023, 264, 2021, 279 in 80 games. So I think he's a great addition. He's going to be a good depth piece for the Astros. I think the only negative thing for the Astros in this trade deadline that we know that with these 3 additions is that just the fact that this probably means Isaac Paredes is out for the season with these 3 additions for the Astros. But I still love, these trades for the Astros. You get these 3 guys in, you get Pena and Alvarez and Myers back. You've got one hell of a lineup. I don't even know. The lineup would be so good, fully healthy, that the bottom of the order is probably Jesus Sanchez, Jake Myers, and Cam Smith. Because if I had to pick out the lineup today, you've got guys like Victor Caratini, Ramon Urias, Victor Caratini, and Mauricio Dubon on the bench. That's how dangerous the Astros lineup would be. If I had to fully healthy, just off the top of my head, going off an order for the Astros in their lineup, I would say Pena at leadoff, Altuve at the 2 spot, Correa at the 3 spot, Alvarez at the 4 spot, and then Yander Diaz at the 5, Christian Walker at the 6, then Jesus Sanchez at the 7, and 8 you would have Jake Myers, and 9 Cam Smith. That just seems like crazy that's where the lineup would be. I mean, when injured, Cam Smith was batting from 1 to 4. So that would be one dangerous lineup. And then the bench is Dubon, Ramon Urias, and Victor Caratini. Man, you've got long depth on the bench as well. Let me know your thoughts on the trades in the comment section, and peace out, go Astros.